I'm sure you were listening to the speech nung last night. And,
Kagabi.
kagabi lang yan. At, you have already answered na you have nothing to do with the Philippine Navy's withdrawal from Panatag. Ano? Pero sabi niya, you filed the case, which you did, and we won, and can we enforce that? Anong response niyo doon?
I have already said this many times, 1,000 times, in so many places. There are many ways to enforce the ruling without going to war. Kasi ang utak pulbura, sasabihin lang, giyera. Hindi pwede. First of all, our Constitution says, prohibit war. We renounce war as an instrument of national policy. Second, the UN Charter says you cannot settle a dispute by going to war. That's prohibited. How do we enforce the ruling? One, we can have a convention with Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, Indonesia, adopting the ruling, and they will sign, and we will ask the US and all its allies to sign, and that now becomes a law for that region. And this is good also for Vietnam, Malaysia, because they don't have to file a case. They will rely now on the convention, that they have an EEZ just like the Philippines. So while technically they cannot invoke the ruling, the award, they can invoke now this convention, which is now the law in the region, because it will be, the regional powers will sign it. So that's one, by a convention. Two, we can file an extended continental shelf claim in the South China Sea, because we filed in the West, in Benham Rice, nobody opposed, so we got it. In the South China Sea, there is only one possible country that can oppose, China. But how can China oppose when there's already a ruling? China cannot use the 9-dash line anymore, because that has been struck down by a UN tribunal, UNCLOS tribunal. So we will probably be awarded the extended continental shelf claim. If you give an extended continental shelf claim, the assumption is you have an EEZ. So that reinforces our EEZ. Also, we can join the freedom of navigation operations of the US. Because whenever, they do this every 45 days now, when they sail in the West Philippine Sea, they conduct naval drills, they're telling China, oi, these are not your waters. This is the EEZ of a coastal state. And in the West Philippine Sea, there is only one coastal state, adjacent coastal state, that's the Philippines. So they are actually enforcing the ruling every 45 days. Whenever they sail in the West Philippine Sea, they tell China, this is the EEZ of a coastal state. And there's only one coastal state, the Philippines. That is the most robust enforcement of the ruling, from my point of view.
Yes,
We should be welcoming this freedom of navigation. We should, at the very least, welcome. But we're not even welcoming. At most, we should join this freedom of navigation operations. There are really many ways to do this without the participation of China. We don't need the participation of China to enforce the ruling. Can you just imagine? Imagine for one moment, the US does not conduct freedom of navigation operations in the West Philippine Sea. No ally of the US conduct FINOPS operation. Nothing. Nobody goes there. What is the effect? China will enforce the 9-dash line as its national boundary, because nobody will be there to oppose China. It is only because the US and its allies go there that China cannot enforce its claim that the 9-dash line is its national boundary in the South China Sea.
But what if China continues to ignore every ruling, every convention, every international agreement that goes against its interests?
Because China, if it can get away with it, you will get away with it.
Yes.